Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, we're going to be doing a random hypnosis session based on a random destination, based on random emotions, and random nouns as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get everything going here. So it's Earth Roulette that I actually use as the destination kind of spinner, if you like, this kind of element that creates a different location. Bringing it up on screen now. Here we go, noun generator. And the emotion generator as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen so that you can actually, here we go, see this element here. So the location that we're going to look at is Praia de Pipa in Brazil. Now, I was in Brazil not too long ago, but in Rio. So I have no idea whereabouts this is. So we've got known for beaches, recommend places to visit are Dolphins Bay, Chapadão and Praia, Central de Pipa. Okay, so it's one of Brazil's most famous beach towns, situated on the southern coast of the Rio Grande do Norte. So a Brazilian beach place, which tends to be pretty good for kind of tranquility and kind of escapism and things like that. And, you know, firsthand I've seen the beaches in Brazil are absolutely amazing. So the random emotion generator, we're going to generate two different emotions here. Here we go. So we've got fury and smugness, which we haven't actually used before in a hypnosis session. So fury and smugness. And then we're going to generate three nouns as well. Extract, shed, and entitlement. Now, I like these. Extract for me is where you take something out of something else. And one of the phrases I use a lot is extracting value. So we'll probably use that element. A shed typically is a place that you store stuff that you don't need very often. So we can kind of think of this metaphorically speaking as a shed of the mind, where you kind of have stuff, but you don't necessarily know what you've put there. And chances are that you have resourceful states or wisdom or knowledge in the shed of your mind that you're not really tapping into. So we can look at that as a way of utilizing shed into this hypnosis session. And entitlement, which for me, entitlement is one of the least positive emotional states or resourceful states. There are benefits of it. You could say a lot of the ruling class, politicians have this kind of sense of entitlement. And the benefit that gives them is it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where, because they are feeling like good things are going to happen to them and they deserve or expect success, they tend to get that. But equally, it's not that positive in the sense that when someone's entitled, they don't necessarily work hard to, let's say, create success. They just think it's due to them, which isn't so positive. So we're going to look at these words, extract, shed, and entitlement, the two emotions, fury and smugness, and we're going to base this in this praia, the Pipa beach in Brazil. So going back now to the live hypnosis session, we're also going to have a random word from the Mike Mandel cards. We're getting through these. I think we've done about half. And the random one, I'm going to cut a random here, is the 10 of clubs and is and as. I'm going to read this out. This is a great utility phrase. it's used to create endless sentences that are never resolved, which causes the subject to internalize what you're saying and create meaning. Here's the example. And as you think of how you'll apply this, and as you begin your own internal search for meaning, and as you trigger all the feelings you continue to discover, you can sleep now. So there's an example there to create endless sentences or never-ending sentences. So we're going to use this phrase "and as" as one of the language patterns in this hypnosis session. We're going to do the whole thing in about 15 minutes. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation, and as you exhale, just allow feelings of tension, stress or worries to leave your body in your outward breath. And as you breathe, you can't help but notice that your body is getting deeper and deeper relaxed. And as your body relaxes, notice that your breathing gets deeper and deeper. And as your breathing gets deeper and deeper, you're taking in more oxygen, enabling your brain waves to adjust to a new frequency, moving from alpha to beta, perhaps all the way to theta, that trance-like, sleep-like frequency. And as your brain waves adapt, it becomes easier for you to harness the power of your imagination, the interface to your subconscious mind, enabling you, as your body relaxes, to fully harness the power of your imagination to go on a journey. And I want you to use that imagination to imagine that you've got the ability to teleport anywhere in the world. And we're going to go to a place where you can just fully relax. And the place that your mind will drift to is a beach town in Brazil. Praia de Pipa. One of Brazil's most famous beach towns. And I want you to imagine that you are in that town now. I want you to imagine walking from the town towards the beach. You can see the old buildings. As you walk towards the seafront, past the hotels, past perhaps a spa resort, and I want you to find yourself there on the beach. Imagine a beach with crystal clear waters, blue skies, feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. And as you appreciate the beauty of this beach, notice that there's something about warm weather, blue skies, crystal clear waters that just takes you deeper and deeper, relaxed, so relaxed that you can just imagine drifting off in your own imagination, deep into your imagination, deep into your memories. And I wonder what it would be like to think Think of your mind as an old house. And maybe those things that you use regularly, the knowledge you use every day, the skills you use every day, that might be the equivalent of wisdom and skills and knowledge there in the kitchen of your mind. But I want you to imagine that your mind has a shed. And many people use a shed as a place to dump tools and things they use less often. And I want you to imagine, just in your imagination, walking towards an old shed that represents these lesser used resources, skills, knowledge and assets that you have in your mind. And as you walk to the shed, I want you to get a sense that your objective is to extract something from that shed that you used to use a lot, and yet you haven't used it recently. Maybe it is a skill. Maybe it's something that you're just really good at. Maybe it's some knowledge that everyone complimented you on just how knowledgeable you are on that topic, and yet you haven't been putting that knowledge to use recently. And I want you to imagine rooting around in that old shed, looking for something that you can take. Now, inside this shed is every skill, every knowledge, every resource that you've ever had and put to use, even if it was just once. And therefore, you are entitled to take anything from this shed because it's already yours. This is a shed within your mind. Maybe it's gratitude that's in that shed. Maybe it's something else. And it's possible sometimes when we realize that we're good at something to have a sense of entitlement or smugness. And sometimes we can get angry and sometimes furious. We can feel that fury when we realize that we had everything we needed to do what we wanted to do, and yet we didn't do it at the right time. But right now in that shed, you've got one objective, and that is to extract, to take something from that shed that you can immediately put to use in your life that will make your life better. And I want you to do that now. And as you do so, I want you to imagine taking it like a tool. Imagining it, because all tools are useful in the right context. A hammer doesn't help you to saw a tree in the same way that a saw doesn't help you hammer a nail. A lawnmower there in that shed doesn't help you to jet wash dirty patio or decking. So I want you to get a sense that all tools are useful for the job they can actually help you with. I want you to get a sense that a shed is unlimited options. Like stars in the sky, you've got infinite possibilities as to what you could use, what you could put to use in that shed. And you can visit this shed in your mind whenever you want, putting to use whatever you feel would be valuable. And who knows? Maybe there's something in that shed within your mind that will transform the next few days and weeks and months. What are you good at? What were you good at? What way of communicating did you used to use but you don't use it right now? What did you spend ages to learn? You spent money learning and then are not currently putting that knowledge to use. As your mind entertains all these different ideas, I want you to choose one of these tools and to imagine using this tool in your life over the next few days and weeks. You're entitled to use this tool. Your objective is to extract all the value from this tool. You'd be furious if you didn't put this tool to use. And as you see yourself putting it to use, seeing your life improve, seeing your work improve, seeing your relationships and your communication improve, you can't help but feel just a little bit of smugness that you're putting something to use that you could have used before, but now you're really putting it to use. Sometimes all we need to do is to visit the sheds within our mind and look at what we've already got. The temptation is to learn new things all the time, to buy new things, to experience new things, but sometimes the real value is in extracting those things you already have, your experiences, your resources, your knowledge, your connections, putting them to use. And as you realize that you have so many things already in the shed of your mind that you can put to use, you get a sense of optimism and excitement for the future. You get a sense that there's so many different things that you can put to use. Maybe each day, each week, a different tool, a different experience, a different principle that you've already learned you put to use. And in doing so, you become more valuable, more impactful, able to experience life at a higher level than ever before, and doing it in an efficient way because you don't have to buy anything new. All of these resources, skills, and knowledge and wisdom you already have. It's in the shed of your mind, and you can extract all the value. Sometimes it's good to feel smug, good to feel entitled to put things to use that you've already invested in. And as you do so, I want you to get a sense that the future is positive for you. In a few moments' time, you'll realize that you're no longer on that beach. You're no longer on that beach, there in your mind's eye, but you're back in the present, listening to my voice, feeling optimistic, feeling that you can put things to use in a way that will really add value to the quality of your life. You will awaken feeling motivated, enthusiastic, and ready to extract all the value possible from your life. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.